Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today I wanted to chat with you guys about 4 new to me authors in 2024. Let's get started and talk about it. I have 4 authors, and actually they're all kind of pretty much from the same genre, and I wanted to share it. The first one I've mentioned so many times, so I'm going to briefly go over it. One of you, by the way, mentioned, hey, you'd like to know a little bit about a biography or a little bit more about each author. I thought that was a great idea. Because I like to keep my videos 5 minutes or less, I don't go into that when I talk about the book. But what I may start doing is each month I might do videos about some of my favorite authors and then tell a little bit about the author. So the first one, Freida McFadden, she was born in New York, and she actually practices medicine in Boston, which I think is interesting. She writes a lot of fabulous books. She's known for the thriller genre. I've read almost every single one of her books. I've enjoyed all of them. Some I love more than others, but I haven't disliked any of her books. And with a big thing that is very popular, her series is the Housemaid series. The wonderful, exciting thing is that she is actually, there's going to be a movie coming in December of 2025 about the Housemaid, and I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to go see that movie. You know, I don't go to that many movies. I know, and I'm going to do a separate video on this author. I also like a lot of Colleen Hoover's books, and I know that a movie came out. I don't know if any of you saw it. I think it was called, either it was called It Ends With Us or Begins With Us. Might have been It Ends With Us. I never got to see that movie, and I really wanted to. But, you know, I definitely am going to go see this one about Freida McFadden, the Housemaid. So that's my first author. I read almost all of her books in 2024. Number 2, and I've talked about him, Daniel Hurst. He also does thrillers. He is from England. He is known as one of Amazon's bestsellers. A few of his popular books, and some of these are not available on the Libby app. I read The Passenger, really liked it. Till Death Do Us Part, I read that, I really liked it. And I guess one of his best-selling books, and I have not read this, is The Doctor's Wife. I'm really anxious to read that. And it sounds just the title. Sometimes the title of these books is so good. So I haven't read it, but he is from the UK, and he is a very popular author. I think he's in his 30s. I just really enjoy this twist. He kind of reminds me a little bit of a male Freida McFadden. What I do like about him, though, is that he doesn't use a bunch of bad language. And so it's easy for a lot of people to read, because sometimes I read books that are just graphic in many ways, and it makes it a little more difficult to recommend and enjoy those books. Okay, number 3, this is a new to me author, Natalie Barelli, and I just recently talked about a favorite book. I've already forgotten the name of it. Let me see, I wrote it down. The Accident, really good book. And one other book that I read, and I'm going to do a book review on this book, and I really like this book. It was called The Housekeeper. She writes thrillers. She lives in Australia, and in her spare time, she rides motorcycles. So I think I've read 4 of her books. I do really enjoy her, but The Accident is my favorite so far. But my second favorite is The Housekeeper, and I'm going to definitely do a video on that. The reason why is because one of the characters. I'll have to tell you about it in a separate video. Okay, last but not least, this is, and I only read 1 book by this author, but I've heard her highly recommended, Dr. Lucinda Barry. She is a former clinical psychologist and childhood trauma researcher. Her books, from everything I've heard, are incredible. I read Saving Noah. It has a lot of trigger warnings. It is not going to be a book that a lot of people like. I'm just going to be honest. If you have certain things, so always do your research on anything I give you, because some of the things I might recommend may be a good fit for you, some may not, and everybody has different life experiences, so always do your own research. So I just thought it was very well done, and she's written, you know, many different books, and a lot of people really like her writing. She has an excellent writing style, and the books keep your interest. I actually like all 4 of these authors. I've read almost all of Freida's books. I've read almost all of Daniel Hurst, and I've read just a few of Natalie's and only 1 of Lucinda's, but I'm anxious to read more. I'd like to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me some of your very favorite authors, and are there any authors that are kind of new to you that you're enjoying? That's all I have to say for now. Love you, appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.